Hello everyone. Today let me show you some new international data standards that were just published on Frontiers in Marine Science. Before I start, I want to acknowledge the contribution of my co-authors. This is a figure adapted from Dorothy Baker. We all know that the ocean is a global system. Data often need to be put together in order to understand regional to global processes. Therefore, standardized data files are really important for oceanographic research. Here is an outline of my talk. We will cover updated column headers, new simplified QC flags, upgraded CO2 sys tools, and so on. First, let's look at the column headers. In the past several decades, a lot of us have been using the WOS WHP exchange format. So the question is, why would we need to update these column headers? I think there are mainly three reasons. First is the technology. 30 years ago, there was a need to create terms that were 6 characters or less. This often results in terms that are not ideal. For example, we have been using T-carbon to represent dissolved inorganic carbon and alkali to represent the total alkalinity. Second, there is often a lack of documentation for a lot of these terms. Lastly, these terms have never been peer-reviewed and published in a paper for better international adoption. As you can see, our new standards adopted what we have been most commonly used among the community. Hopefully this will make people happier. Now let's move on to the QC flags. Here are the 3 lists of WOS QC flags. So what are the problems here? People have been using them without specifying which list of flags they really belong to. There are often flags that are more or less the same. There are also lots of obsolete flags. What we did was to consolidate the 3 tables into one and generate this simplified list of flags. Hopefully by making these flags a lot more simpler, we will promote their usage. In this paper, we also presented upgraded CO2 sys programs. All of these new programs are capable of accepting carbonyl ion and others as input parameters. All of them also allow users to estimate the calculation errors. We also were able to reach an agreement about what constants should be used for the CO2 sys calculation. For open ocean water, we are recommending Luker et al. 2000, and for studies in the estuary and coastal areas, if the salinity is really low, we are recommending to use Waters et al. 2014. For boron to salinity ratio, Li et al. 2010 is recommended. In terms of the bisulfate and hydrofluoric acid dissociation constants, any of these choices don't really make a lot of differences in most of the cases anyway. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the TOS 10 calculations. It is recommended by the IOC and others as the new standard to calculate a lot of the oceanographic parameters. Previously, there were no tools based on Excel for this kind of calculations. In this paper, we released a new tool called the GSW sys, thanks to the development efforts by Denis, Pierrot. In addition to these common parameters, it also allows the calculation of AOU and percentage oxygen. We also released a new tool to make it easier to calculate fugacity of carbon dioxide from the molecular ratio numbers. A lot of the oceanographic parameters are reported using mass-based units, but they have often been incorrectly called concentration. This group now agreed that we should recommend the use of content instead of concentration. For example, if nitrate is reported in the unit of micromole per kilogram of seawater, please call this property either nitrate content or substance content of nitrate. We also reached agreements on the missing value indicators. Very quickly, I want to acknowledge the important role of the Wolf's exchange format in the development of these new column headers. I also want to thank NOAA's Ocean Acidification Program for the funding support. Most importantly, I want to thank the 40 experts from the international community in helping me put this standard together. Thank you.